The mini berry is a simple and efficient grow base. It's cheap, expandable, and ideal for solos, small groups, or people just learning how to grow. It's suited for freshwater or water catcher growing, but could be adapted for saltwater growing as well. It features a 2x2 growing plot. Historically, you wanted one sprinkler to reach 3 or 5 planters to be most water efficient, but this has since been patched, opening the door for 2x2 growing plots to be viable or even preferable. This plot can also optionally be expanded to 6 planters by placing 2 more planters on half-height floors. And while I personally don't like half-wall growing, it fits well in this base for those who don't mind a little inconvenience and lets you cover 6 planters with a single light. Before the build steps, if you end up enjoying this design, please consider leaving a like, it helps me a lot. To build it, wade into waist-deep water that can fit a water pump, and then put down a 2x2. Place triangles as follows where you were originally standing, leaving these 2 triangles twig. Later on, we'll place the water pump there. Create an airlock with a window. Then create your TC compartment. Then on the other side, create a jump up to a 2nd floor if you want one, or just seal it off. When it's all sealed in, you've completed the basic footprint of the base, so let's get started on the inside. This base features one building trick in that you can fit a water pump in a single triangle if you build the other triangle after placing the pump. Simply place it like this. If you mess up, you can pick up the water pump and try again, but if for some reason you aren't able to do it at all, it'll be a little more annoying to go in and out of your base, and you won't be able to fit a mixing table comfortably on the 1st floor, but that's not a huge problem. Then I put down my 4 planters. Remember, if you have the base decor DLC, you don't need the blueprint to craft railroad planters. Then place a ceiling light and a sprinkler near the center of your 2x2 growing plot. Then we need some power. I like to put a small battery on top of the TC, then power it with a solar panel facing north. When the battery power out, connect your ceiling light and use the pass-through to connect your water pump. Then using the hose tool, connect your water pump to your sprinkler. It'll begin filling your planters, but be sure to let them fill up a bit or manually fill them before you actually plant anything. I like to put a shelf over my water pump for extra storage, and if you place your foundations a bit higher, you can fit a large box on the TC foundation over the pump. Otherwise a barrel or even a furnace can go in that spot. Now you can comfortably place a mixing table for making teas, a fridge, and a few bags. If you end up adding extra floors, just remember that one water pump can sustain 4 freshwater sprinklers, or 2 sprinklers when purifying salt water. If you want to adapt this base for use with water catchers, I like to stick to 1 sprinkler per large catcher, though rain frequency and how many batches you grow will matter, and you won't start meaningfully filling your planters until it rains for the first time. You'll also need to use a fluid switch and pump if you don't place your catcher higher than your sprinklers. If you want to do salt water instead, I'd recommend putting a water purifier on a 2nd floor, and if you want to use more than 2 sprinklers, you could fit 2 pumps in these triangles. Just remember that adding a water purifier will take another solar panel, and adding a 2nd pump on top of that will require you to use a 2nd battery or a higher capacity battery. On that note, if you want to use half-wall planters, simply put 2 more planters on half walls on the far side of the 2x2. They're a bit more annoying to plant, but a siren light seems to be a good way to comfortably plant every slot. With this method, you can't individually reach a plant at the back. You'll need to harvest or clone it with the harvest or clone all options by holding E to bring up the interaction menu. You'll then need to hook up a 2nd sprinkler to make sure enough water is coming in, but you won't need another light. At this point, you're ready to begin growing, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments or join my Discord. And if you're looking to learn more about growing, I have a playlist of short videos covering various aspects you'll inevitably want to learn. And remember, sub and I'll make you better at Rust.